It's so stupid. You're going to put someone in a cage for eating a bagel?
Yeah, but like for a guy in the military, that could be the end of your freaking career.
It could.
You'd be kicked out for it.
Yeah. And, you know, just being at a party and people are smoking.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get secondhand smoke and you'll
Yeah.
test positive.
Yeah.
You know, those tests are probably pretty rough because people definitely get high from secondhand smoke. I've seen it happen before. I've seen sober people go into a room that's filled with pot and everyone comes out like a little loopy, like, you're breathing in the same air. You're breathing in pot air. I used to have a dog that I got. She was a stray, and she was a little prone to anxiety as it is. And if she was in the room when people smoked pot, she would get high, and she'd get paranoid. She'd start hiding under tables. I was like, oh, Lucy. It was sad.
Not good.
You
didn't
can
get the
see her
chill factor.
No. She was like, the world is dangerous. You know, she used to live on the street.
Man.
So it's just, I guess it's a good thing that they've scheduled it to Schedule 3. But for sure, forget about the drug part.
Yeah.
They should be encouraging hemp production in
Yes.
this country. It's an amazing food source. Hemp has all of the essential amino acids. Mm-hmm. It's very rich in protein. It's easily digestible. As far as like plant-based protein, for me, is my favorite one and the easiest one to digest.
Yep.
Like you just like easy. It goes down smooth. There's no problem at all. And you know, it's very good for you.
Yeah. And
CBD is very good for you, but forget about all that. Yeah. Just for a commodity and for building construction and clothing. Do you know the first draft of the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp?
I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was used for everything.
Yeah.
It was used for ropes for sailboats.
Yeah.
They made sails out of it. All that's the canvas. That was all made out of cannabis initially. It was all hemp.
It's just, I mean, I introduced legislation in Congress to deschedule it completely because it shouldn't be.
Well, the wildest thing is how it happened in the first place. The wildest thing how it happened in the first place is because it was all William Randolph Hearst and Harry Anslinger. And so what happened was William Randolph Hearst, who owned Hearst Publications, he also owned not just newspapers, but he owned paper mills and he owned forests. So he had all these forests that they would cut down the wood and use it to make paper. Well, if they were going to transfer over to hemp, this is going to be very costly. And the cover of Popular Science magazine in, I think it was 1930, find out what year that cover was. It says hemp, the new billion-dollar crop, because they came up with a new machine, and it was called a decorticator. And this new device was a device that allows you to effectively process the hemp fiber in a much quicker and easier way. So it's this machine that grinds it up. And so once they do this, they go, oh boy, we figured out, they've solved this problem of hemp where it's very durable, but it's really difficult to break down to the actual fibers. So 1938.
Oh, wow. So
this comes out in 1938, Hemp, the new billion-dollar crop. And so it's the cover of Popular Science magazine. Do you see, do they have the cover so you can see what it says?
This is an article actually.
Oh, just an article?
Today about this somewhere. Vote hemp.
Oh, wow.
Popular Mechanics magazine, I'm sorry. So the article is from 1938. And so when they come out with this, they talk about this new invention. See if you could find a photo of the decorticator, because it's like this grindy kind of thing. Is that what it looks like? Hemp, the new billion-dollar crop. So once they had this ability to really quickly turn it into fibers, then big industry starts getting involved. And what they start doing is they start making these stories and putting them in the newspaper about Mexicans and black people smoking this new drug called marijuana and raping white women. And marijuana was not pot. Marijuana was a wild Mexican tobacco. It was a slang for a wild Mexican tobacco.
Really?
It had nothing to do with marijuana. So they started attaching this name to something and calling it a drug because they knew that cannabis was so ubiquitous. And hemp as a commodity was, everybody knew it, what it was good for.
Right.
And so they had to come up with some sneaky way to get it through. So they come up with the word marijuana. So marijuana was not a term for pot. It wasn't a term for cannabis. It was a term for this wild Mexican tobacco. And so when they started making marijuana illegal, Congress didn't even understand that it was the same thing as hemp. And so they had to come up with some sort of a tax stamp that you can have in order to grow hemp. while marijuana is illegal. And then this is like right after Prohibition, right?
Right.
So Prohibition ends. You got all these cops that were used to busting people, like, sick them on the farmers now.
Exactly.
And this is what happened.
Exactly.
And then they come up with these dopey movies that are amazing to watch today. Have you ever seen Reefer Madness? Mm-mm. It's crazy. It's like people smoking pot, just jumping out of windows and killing people. It's just like, it has this guy smoking pot.
Talk about some propaganda.
Oh, it's the worst propaganda, but it was really effective. Like, this is it. I've got a few of these posters.
Weird.
That I have
orgies.
I have them framed.
Oh my gosh.
Because these movies were insane, and they were just full
Wow.
on propaganda
Lust,
movies.
crime, sorrow, hate, shame, despair.
Find the movie. Find a clip from the movie Reefer Madness. We'll just watch it without playing it. But it was so nutty. Like, and they scared everybody.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So understand that media has sucked forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Just understand that. So this is Reefer Madness.
At the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance.
So that dude on the
Innocent
piano,
of a new
he's a
and
reefer
deadly
man.
menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
Look at him.
In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case. In this startling film, you will see dopesters lure children to destruction.
We're going over to Joe's place. Why don't you come along? We have a date to